bum, bum. That sucked. God, man, this was so much easier when the camera wasn't on, I'll tell you that. Oh, I forgot you guys were there. What's up? Now that you got some crazy, stupid, ridiculous guitar playing. Some of those that run forces are the same that sweat through their t-shirts because they've been doing yard work all day. What? What's up? Let me read some of the comments real quick. Hello, FDSS. What's up? Brian Hendrickson. Hi, brother from Morocco. What's up, Morocco? I don't even know where that is. Jack Attacks. Haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing? I hope you're well. Nick Barrett. What up? Terry Frazier. Jerry Van Hoof. Canadian. Hey. My mom got her ass by cops today, and I almost ran a train through the department. That's from Latinita. Oh, no, it's not. It's from Matthew Kelsey. Latinita, what's up? Eggy, what up? Feedback is bad. Okay. You have to come jam at the garage when it gets cooler. Got the 5-piece setup. Yes, please. Invite me. I'll go. Black Sabbath. Casablanca. Where the hell is that? Hussein. Hi, John. Hi. Minnesota. What's up? Hold them accountable. What's up? Enrique Huerta. ¿Qué pasa contigo? Cammed up caveman. What's up, brother? Mushrooms. Yum. Yes. Fat cat politician. What's up? Geo XXGOX. Who is that? You, Geo? I heard you got arrested, dude. What's going on with that? Electric Eye. Now you do what they tell you. But I'm bumped. Now you do what they tell you. So I've been working in the yard all day. Still sweating. When you're fat and you go outside, it's like a residual hot all day. And this 1990 Impala rolls up with like 4 crackheads in it. They hit the little bump like this, and the shocks are so bad, the car's going like this. And they got a tree saw hanging about 4 feet out of the back of the trunk. And they're looking at the houses, and I'm looking at them. And one of them gets out the car and says, "Do you need any tree work done?" I'm like, "No, thank you, man." So then I go in my backyard, I come back out, and then the other one from the passenger side is coming up my driveway, and I had a Ruger 1022 handy, so I grab it, I go, "What's up, man?" And he looks at it, he's like, "Oh my God." He's like, "You need any tree work done?" I go, "I already told your buddy I don't need any done." He's like, "All right, man, sorry to bother you." Come on, guy. What's up, Nashville? Mid-Ohio. I can't say hi to everybody. Free Geo. Yes, I did. My new name. Geo. What'd you get arrested for, dude? FDSS. Please don't repeat your comments, dude. That's the only thing you're really not allowed to do in the comment section. Besides, condoning violence and racism and all that nonsense. So click the thumbs up if you'd be so kind. If you guys don't know who Soloyaker is, he's got 2 channels, Soloyaker, and then he has the Armed Fisherman. Subscribe to the Armed Fisherman, and if you want to see some of his old amazing work that he's done, go to Soloyaker. Well, if you don't know, in Florida, you're not allowed to open carry a firearm unless you're going to and from hunting, fishing, or camping. hunting, fishing, or camping. Most police don't know this law. Most police don't know any law, much less this law. So the fact that this even exists gets under their skin. So if you're going to or from fishing, and the reason for it is because there's gators here, there's snakes here, you're out in the wilderness where law enforcement can't get to you, so to speak. And also another reason to carry while you fish, camp, or hunt is for the most dangerous animal on this planet, other people. You don't know what their intentions are. Hit the thumbs up if you'd be so kind. I got to go here in a minute. I'm going to read some of this article that the Tampa Bay Times wrote about Soloyaker. So one of the best beaches in America is Clearwater Beach, Florida. It's very nice, white sand, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. It has a nice pier called Pier 60. It's long. It's a long fishing pier. So you can park your car. It doesn't matter where you park your car. It only matters to the cops because the cops don't like it. And some Karens that call the cops, hey, because you a gun. I watch Law and Order and guns are illegal. Anyone that watches Law and Order or them shows and doesn't get pissed off, it's because you don't know the law, because they don't follow the law on those shows. Or anyway. So here's the article about Soloyaker. He parked his car in Clearwater Beach, Florida. He walked with an AR-15, perfectly legal, to the fishing pier. He was grabbed, accosted by a cop, grabbed his arm, assaulted, thrown in the back of a car, all for doing something that's perfectly legal. So, here's the article. The title of the article is, he walked Clearwater Beach with an AR-15. Is he a menace or a martyr? He's a patriot. Second Amendment, firearms, founding fathers, how we want our freedom. But I digress. So this article is by, doesn't say, the tactics used by Michael Taylor, a gun rights auditor, it's put in quotation marks, I don't know why, with the YouTube following, are legal. Whether they're in good taste depends on who you ask. Who cares if they're in good taste? What's wrong with, if you're saying open carrying a firearm is in bad taste, that means that you don't believe in the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. And that would be, you would be in bad taste. And they got a nice picture of him here. He's baiting a live shrimp. And he's holding his AR. He's got his big smile and his flip-flops. And he's saying, and the shrimp has a slogan that says, I'll catch fish or I'll die trying. Open carry is in poor taste? No. Oh, it's a question mark. Okay, so Michael Taylor, also known as the armed fisherman, strapped with his assault rifle. Again, misnomer there. It's not an assault rifle. It's a semi-automatic rifle, just like any other semi-automatic rifle. So right away, Jack Evans is using false misnomers and false buzzwords to vilify him right there. So with his assault rifle and handgun, but his fishing line while at Pier 60 on Clearwater Beach, July 2nd, 2021. Octavio Jones is the photo. Jack Evans and Christopher Spada wrote this article, published July 10th. Clearwater Beach, Michael Taylor trudged over the crowded sugar sand. What does trudged mean? Between sunbathers on beach towels and water-wing kids digging with plastic shovels. A few people peered at him from behind sunglasses. What was he doing? Living that dream, he told anyone who engaged him on the recent Monday, living that Florida dream. And that's what he always says. It's like his slogan. In his left hand, he carried a fishing rod and a fishing pole, flying a Don't Tread on Me flag that bobbed in front of the GoPro camera strapped to his chest and shooting video. Something else, dark and dull, obscured, kept intruding the frame. He fist bumped the beachgoer and complimented the man's tattoo, the symbol of the Three Percenters, an anti-government militia movement. I don't know who they are really, so I don't know if that's a slanderous or biased statement right there, but I would guess, since this is mainstream media, that's probably some inflammatory, over-exaggerated term right there. The man asked about the thing slung over Taylor's shoulder that showed on the screen. It's an AR pistol, Taylor responded, a shorter variant of the AR-15 rifle, fully loaded with a round in the chamber, he explained later. 4 Clearwater police officers stopped him minutes later. About 100 yards from Pier 60, Taylor, who also carried a handgun on his hip, wasn't worried. He was used to being stopped by cops. He sought it out even. That's nonsense. What we're seeking to do and what he's seeking to do is to normalize the Second Amendment and what it actually means to keep and bear arms. Okay? Who also carried okay, he wasn't worried. This is what the camera was for. So this is nonsense right here. This is what the camera's for. No, the camera's for an objective record. Okay? Because the camera don't lie. If there's no camera there, the cop could say anything he wants. So there's another attempt to demonize him. Taylor, proprietor of a YouTube channel called The Armed Fisherman, has for 3 years traveled Florida with his fishing pole, flag, and weapons. He almost always provokes a police response. Actually, he's not provoking anything. The police respond because they're provoked, and Americans are too stupid to know the Second Amendment, so they get provoked and call. He doesn't do anything but lawful, legal activity. He almost always provokes it, which he gladly uploads. So what if he uploads it? Why shouldn't he upload it? He's exposing them for not knowing the law. Something you're supposed to be doing. Instead, you're taking shots at him. The video gets tens of thousands of views, part of an online ecosystem of so-called civil rights auditors who invite and film confrontations with police and other officials. We don't invite it. You guys show up because we're recording. If you didn't show up, we couldn't get tens of thousands of views. If you guys knew the law and knew what you were talking about, we couldn't get tens of thousands of views. So the videos are openly carrying a firearm is illegal in Florida, but state law makes few exceptions, including one that allows open carry while hunting, camping, or fishing, and while going to or from such activities. Taylor tests this law time and time again, and yet the police can't get on an email or a mass, how about a meeting, how about a Zoom, and say, hey, everyone, open carrying while you're hunting, fishing, or camping, or going to and from is legal. Hey, everyone. So someone calls, don't act like they're John Dillinger or Osama bin Laden. He made hundreds of videos. He's been handcuffed dozens of times. Occasionally he gets arrested, though he says he's never been convicted of committing a crime while auditing. Never, because he's not doing anything illegal. A Tampa Bay Times background check did not turn up any convictions. Oh. He made hundreds of videos. He's been handcuffed. Okay. Taylor titled the Clearwater video, filmed June 14th. I tried to be nice, but tyranny doesn't care. Within 2 weeks, it had nearly 140,000 views and was planning a return trip. And, yeah, because people are pissed off at the government constantly infringing on our constitutional rights. That's why it got so many views. They're tired of it. Why aren't you talking about any of that? Why these things happen? Why do we get views? It's because of you and your ineptitudes in reporting tyranny, not giving a crap about Americans and their constitutional rights. I'm never going to get through this if I don't shut up, but whatever. In the Clearwater video, detectives identified in a police report as John Kappa points out that Taylor chose to take a long walk down the beach rather than park near the fishing pier. So what? Again, you're trying to demonize him for doing something that's lawful. So what? And here's a quote from Kappa. You think it's appropriate walking around with an AR-15 on your chest where there's children and everybody on the beach? Kappa asks. Why wouldn't it be? You carry your gun on the beach. Are you a sovereign citizen? Or do you just like asking stupid questions? You don't think that's going to cause problems? Why would it cause problems? This is America where you have the right to keep and bear arms. And the law says I'm allowed to do this. If it causes problems, you need to get out and make a public statement in a press conference and explain to the snowflakes of America that the Constitution is still valid and we still have the right to keep and bear arms. 173 people in here? Holy crap. How about some thumbs up to go with that? I appreciate the 97 of you who did it. Please, the other 70 or however many of you in here, thumbs up. It really helps me out a lot. I don't ask for money, but this is the kind of things you can do for free to help me. And then Soloyaker says, I don't care about people's concern. Taylor tells officers, I care about your reactions. That's right. We care about if you're going to uphold your oath to the Constitution and follow the law that you swore to enforce. You don't even know it. How can you enforce something you don't know? Again, police not knowing the law is like a chef not knowing his recipes. I ordered steak and lobster and I got peanut butter and grilled cheese. It doesn't work that way. So here's another main heading. The other side of the story. Officers disarm, detain, handcuff Taylor, but turn him loose with his gun after about 40 minutes of him being stuck, handcuffed in the back of a police car unlawfully. That's false imprisonment. They don't mention that, though. Like usual, they determined his walk on the beach was legal. Oh, like usual. Oh, they already knew it was legal? Whether it was in good taste depends on who you ask. He could look like the next mass shooter or a charming patriot, a menace or a martyr. What does a mass shooter look like? You don't know what a mass shooter looks like until you start shooting the masses. Again, who is doing this reporting? Taylor, a 41-year-old self-described constitutionalist, a guy who open carries legally when other people are too scared to do it because they think it's illegal because they watch too much TV and believe in blue line propaganda, is obviously a patriot. Isn't this what started the Revolutionary War, where they tried to go to the armory and take people's guns? Isn't that what started the Revolutionary War? Has whoever wrote this did 3 minutes of history class? Reaper, what's up? I just saw your name up there. Numismatist, what's up? Mental ill boy, what's up? Sorry, I gotta read this. Self-described constitutional husband, father, and chef at farm-to-table restaurant near his home in Port St. Lucie is fond of saying, "I'm just going fishing." In a recent interview with the Times, he conceded that what he does is activism. What do you mean he conceded it? Of course it's activism. You guys say, you guys are pretending like we don't have the Second Amendment. Someone's testing you. Yeah, it's activism. What do you mean conceded? So what? We don't have enough activists. What's your point? Again, it's your job. The First Amendment, the freedom of press was put in there so you guys could expose corrupt government, not so you can help them push their narrative of communism and nonsense. This is important because if I let them take this right away and say, you can't do that, eventually they could take all of our rights away. 100% correct. Taylor said he launched into a slippery slope argument at the bottom of which lay a U.S. resembling communist China or Nazi Germany. Yes, exactly. By Independence Day weekend, Clearwater police had chose the case involving Taylor, then reported it and referred it to the Pinellas Pasco State Attorney's Office, which is deciding whether he should face any charges. For what? Taylor acknowledged the case in another video and said questioned whether he should return on the beach July 3rd. That's when I went. And as he planned, but he already urged other people to join him, and he made the trip. You can see that video, my video of it. It was live on July 3rd, so if you look back on my videos. About 10 supporters turned out as Taylor, with his 2-year-old daughter in tow and his guns strapped to his chest, set up a fishing pole on Pier 60. At least one supporter filmed him. There was at least 12, 15 of us there. A couple of police officers patrolled the area, but they told a Times reporter that they didn't know Taylor was coming and they didn't approach him. The only brief confrontation came when Taylor spotted the beach patrol supervisor who had called the police in June and put Taylor's life in danger. I put that last part in there. Thumbs up, please. Trouble came because of you, Taylor tells the man. That's true. Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Galtieri, which he needs to go to. He's another one who has murderers employed for his department. And if you live in Pinellas County, you need to vote for James McClinnis for sheriff in 2024. Patrol to June. Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Galtieri, Clearwater Police Chief Dan Slaughter acknowledged the legality of Taylor's expeditions, but they took issue with his tactics and expressed concerns that introducing a loaded weapon into scenes such as that increases potential for violence. Only from the police. The only violence he's ever encountered doing this hundreds of times is from government and from the police. Yeah, you guys need to get under control. Everyone else is fine. The law is archaic, Slaughter said. I think it makes sense if you're trying to camp out or get to your campsite through the woods to carry a gun. But to intentionally walk through a heavily congested area with the sole purpose of trying to cause disorder or fear to make some kind of constitutional point is irresponsible and ridiculous. In the sole purpose of trying to cause disorder and fear, that's not his purpose at all. His purpose is to educate the public that open carry is legal in Florida in certain situations. It's called education, something you're lacking there, Mr. Slaughter. After Taylor demonstrated in Palm Beach with the group Florida Carry in 2019, the mayor and police chief there wrote to a state senator asking that the law be changed to prevent open carry in certain places, including guarded beaches. Can't have Second Amendment on the touristy beaches. Everything has got to be a facade for them. Everything. The Senator Palm Beach County Democrat Bobby Powell introduced a bill the next session that would prohibit open carrying within 1,500 feet of schools, places of worship, public buildings, and guarded beaches. It died in committee. Oh, so he introduced a bill that would infringe on the Second Amendment that says shall not be infringed. Do they just pretend like they don't know that they're going exactly the opposite of how the law is written? Man, how much more of this is there? Whew. Taylor says he carries a gun while fishing for personal safety because he was nearly robbed once. Though he said he never reported to police. He learned about the open carry law, he said, from one of his primary inspirations, Jeff Gray. Honor your oath investigations. Thank you, Dan, for that. He was with me open carrying my 9mm Ruger. Don't tread on me. Subscribe to him. And St. Augustine truck driver whose YouTube channel, Honor Your Oath Civil Rights Investigation, has more than 100,000 subscribers. David Dewberry, a professor at Rider University in New Jersey, credited Gray with coining the term First Amendment audit. Gray, 51, began filming in police in 2010. He said in part of his frustration with speed traps that seem more like money-making tools, exactly what they are, than benefits to public safety. The first time he did it, he said he wound up in cuffs. In contrast with later auditors, including Mr. Taylor, who lean on profanity or aggression when they encounter police, Gray prioritizes keeping cool head. He cites the manners for his mother taught him, and the directive of Patrick Swayze's character in Roadhouse. That's kind of funny. If you do wind up getting arrested, which has happened to me 8 or 9 times now, you don't want to be yelling and screaming and making a fool of yourself, Gray said, adding that prosecutors have always declined to file charges. You want to look like you were a calm, cool, rational person. I should take his advice, but I get pissed off, man. I'm sorry. He sees what he does as education, he said, for viewers and police and public officials. And it is education. It's exactly what it is. Auditing is a relatively new phenomenon enabled by technology and social media, but has plenty of precedents, said Dewberry, who recently published a peer-reviewed study of First Amendment auditors. He traces an American lineage of civilians recording police, from Paul Revere's iconic engraving of the Boston Massacre to the cell phone video that captured Derek Chauvin murdering George Floyd last year. Auditors, however, seek out encounters with police rather than witnessing and recording them spontaneously. Again, that's another, what do you call that? Erroneous statement. You can't just say auditors, however, seek out encounters. No. We go to places where we do things that are perfectly legal, and then the public employee or cop starts acting like a dummy. They create the content. We just show up places where we're allowed to be and where we're allowed to film. Auditors, however, seek out... No, that's BS. We've all seen cops, Dewberry said. Lots of us have seen live PD, except those are fake live PDs, and they're edited, and even the live PD has a big delay on it, and so as soon as something starts going sideways, they cut to another city. Nonsense. What we do is live PD, for real. For real. Those are heavily titled towards state's point of view. Now we get to see it from the other point of view. That can make some people uncomfortable, but it's the other side of the story. Dewberry found that auditors generally know their way around the law. Though his research focused on auditors expressing free speech right, he said they displayed firearms enough where I've noticed it. Gray, in fact, once dabbled in gun rights tests. His second most popular video with more than 2.7 million views documents a run-in with Ormond Beach police. He posted 2014. He was openly carrying a handgun while going fishing. I saw that one. I covered that one, and that was another inspiration. Jeff Gray was the man. Jeff, I love you. Bless you, and it's a pleasure being your friend now. That video contrasts sharply with Taylor's Clearwater stroll. It begins when an officer approaches Gray, and there aren't any visible bystanders. Gray is quiet, compliant, and he's soon released with his guns. Still, he said, the experiences left him shaken. The officer had drawn his gun. His wife and close friends asked him to stop making open carry videos. They were afraid I was going to get shot, Gray said. I quit doing it. Is his way the right way? This is the next part of this article. At least one auditor has been shot in 2019. Security guard outside Los Angeles synagogue wounded a woman who was filming the building. That's a furry potato. Gray feels no regret about the subculture he helped spawn. He said, but reserves some ire for people he believes crosses a line. He knows of an auditor in Texas who prowls residential neighborhoods, shining lights into homes at night, and heard of auditors calling police on themselves to guarantee confrontations. Yeah, each auditor has his own style. If you don't like one, that doesn't go for all of them. And if you're going to sit here and say, well, you guys say all this stuff about all police All police receive the same training. They all spew out the same crap out of their mouth from coast to coast. They all make up the same lies, and they all don't know the laws that they're enforcing. And they're all uniformed and trained. We're all individuals. So to group us all together is intellectually dishonest, to be honest with you. None of that applies to Taylor, who Gray called a friend and someone who does things the right way. I definitely think that law enforcement could handle it a lot better than they do, he said. They should definitely be knowledgeable of the very same law, the same statute that authorizes them to carry a weapon. So 790.25, subsection blah, 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 is the same law that allows police to open carry. They think they just can because they have costumes and a badge. They think that's why they can carry a gun. They don't understand that it's actually written in law. Taylor regrets. Oh, there's a picture of me. Look at that. Me and Soloyaker, and who the hell's that in the background? And I got my cool shades on, and I'm got a blunt in my mouth, and I'm really fat, and I got bad hair. Man, I really got to work on my appearance. But anyway, Taylor regrets the torrent of profanity he unleashed on Clearwater officers last month, he said, but he's on the edge after 3 years of guns pointed at him, cops telling me to get face down on the ground, and me being thrown in the backs of cars. The Clearwater incident wasn't Taylor's first time filming Tampa Bay. In 2020, he showed up at Johns Pass Village, did a Pinellas County Sheriff's deputies who detained and released him. He likes to follow up to see if officers have received additional training. Galtieri said deputies don't get specific training on dealing with auditors, though there's general guidance for when they're being filmed. Be careful and be aware of the law. A Clearwater spokesperson said officers are trained on the issue. That's nonsense. That is nonsense. We'll follow the law, Slaughter said, but I don't think the law was created for what this gentleman is doing. The Second Amendment was created for us to be able to open carry all across the United States. How about that law, Slaughter, you moron? How about that law? Did you forget about that law? She likes to follow up. Which is to generate income by making a bunch of YouTube videos. This guy's an imbecile. Whoever this Slaughter guy is an imbecile. We are free press and activist journalists. That's what we're doing. What you're doing is erroneous. You're an erroneous liar. That's what you are. Taylor, whose video sometimes accompanied by a PayPal link, said he makes a couple $100 a month from his channel and puts the money towards travel and videos. Oh my God, he makes money. Nancy Grace gets $5 million a year, and she spews nonsense and venom out of her mouth all day. Why can't we make a few $100 or a few $1,000s? Why aren't we allowed to earn from what we're doing? Why is that exactly? Sing us a song, you're the piano man. I want to get through this thing, man. His old channel, Soloyaker, generated thousands of dollars before YouTube removed its ability to make money due to policy violation. Another mainstream douchebag liars who hate Constitution and freedom. Google. They hate you. They want to track you. Their CEO's been said, these Americans, they got to get used to this whole privacy thing because, the whole idea of privacy in this new coming millennium and generations is really a thing of the past. And if you ain't got nothing to hide, you shouldn't be really stressed about your constitutional right to be secure in your person's houses and effects. Hashtag Google, hashtag we're going to be God eventually. They're probably going to be Skynet. Freedom is dead in YouTube. They're barely letting us get by at this point. Taylor said it was because he reposted a banned Snapchat video from a man who threatened a mass shooting in order to comment on it. David Thomas, a professor of forensic studies at Florida Gulf Coast University and a former Gainesville police officer, said he welcomes citizens questioning, challenging, and recording officers, but the presence of a weapon makes the possibility of violence palpable. So get rid of the cops' guns too. If you want to be we want to be on an even playing field with our government. They're not supposed to be able to overpower us and bully us and stuff. That's the whole point of the Second Amendment. And I guarantee you, on that day where they grabbed him and put him in the back of the car, if there was 10 or 20 of us, all with ARs, they would have approached that situation a little bit differently. Everything comes down to who has the monopoly on force. And unfortunately, right now, it's the government when it should be the people. Okay, I'm trying to get through this. The officers have the skill level and knowledge they're supposed to have. This should be a fairly routine, Thomas said. What scares me is somebody is going to overdo it, and the officer is going to overdo it. It's the officers who overdo it 90% of the time. Officers just arriving on the scene have no way of knowing the intentions of Taylor or any other armed person, Galtieri said. We have no way of telling the intentions of police officers who stalk people at night and who let teenagers drown in the lake, and then another guy later, one of your guys who murders people. Shut up, Bob, you moron. Officers just all they know is they're about to approach somebody who's armed pretty extensively in a populated area. The danger that scenario creates aligns less with auditor stated goals, he said, and more with the desire to bait the police. How can you be baited if you know the law, Galtieri? If your officers are trained and they know the laws they're supposed to enforce, how can they be baited? Only stupid fish take bait. Only stupid fish. We're using the law you're supposed to be enforcing and knowing, instead of having cops who murder people on your force. Again, James McClinnis, 2024 Pinellas County Sheriff. Let's show 1 million people of Pinellas County Sheriff what a free county would look like in America, and then all the rest of the counties can follow suit once they see. Can't bait you if you're not stupid to the law as a law enforcement officer. That's the only way you can get baited, Bob. If your cops don't know the law and they take bait, you're calling following the laws that your cops don't know bait. They're pushing the limits of it, he said, and they want somebody to take action against them so they can be a martyr about it. Again, that's your ill-informed opinion, Galtieri. You're nothing but a piece of garbage who has murderers working for your police force. I don't want to hear nothing out of you. Not a thing. You don't know what you're talking about. Taylor insists he doesn't want to scare anyone. There wasn't mass hysteria on the beach. He said a lot of people were happy to see me and give me a thumbs up. Yes, they were. Very happy to see him. Not the people on the beach giving him a wide berth. Not the frightened children, a group of junior lifeguards who fled just as police arrived. According to their report, not the beach safety supervisor who called the police, nor the lifeguard who feared for his safety and called his boss, nor the worried woman who complained to the lifeguard in the first place. After the officers let Taylor go, they watched as he walked to the pier. He fished for 5 minutes and then he left. He wandered around the area for about 20 minutes, police wrote. 4 more people called 911. So again, they're not educating the Americans that what he's doing is perfectly legal and that they should probably join him in his freedoms. Instead, they're saying, who knows what they're saying. I think I was using the wrong bait. Time staff writers Tracy McManus and Natalie Weber contributed to this report. Too bad they didn't research any laws or know anything about the Constitution. Jack Evans, I'm looking at a picture of him, and breaking news reporter Jack Evans, Pinellas Sheriff, so he works for the police. And Christopher Spata, he looks like Guy Fawkes, General Assignment Features Reporter. There you go, guys. There's the article about Soloyaker, the armed fisherman. Thanks, everybody. I got to take a shower and shave and go win this pool tournament. Love you long time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.